Welcome, everybody. This is the first part of a four-part series on artificial intelligence for the city of Austin. Our goal is to give you a brief introduction to what this family of technologies is, what it can do, and how you might begin to explore its capabilities. I'm Sharon Strover, a professor at UT Austin, and we've been working with the city of Austin to develop workshops and materials so that the city can move confidently into using AI responsibly and ethically. In this first video, you can expect to learn a little bit about some of the types of AI that people are using these days. By the end of the video, you should have a good sense of where AI is being used today and where it might be used in the future. So what are the types of AI? We can understand artificial intelligence technologies as composed of several layers of technology. AI is a big and general term, a huge box that holds many different kinds of smart computer systems. You might be most familiar with AI from using streaming services that have recommendation systems. Those recommendations are AI in action. You may also be used to spell check when you send a text, for example. Spell check is also a type of early AI. The very first kinds of AI were like simple programs where a person gave the computer every single instruction. Early AI systems were more like advanced if-then rules. For example, spell check uses a dictionary to flag misspelled words. It's not really very intelligent. It's just checking against a very large database of common words and phrases. But it was an early step toward automating human tasks. Now, inside the big box AI, there's a smaller box called machine learning. Machine learning is special because the computer doesn't have to be told every single step. Instead, it can learn and get better over time all by itself. It does this by looking at lots of information and using powerful computers to search for patterns. While machine learning has been around since the 1950s, better computing capabilities and more data have made it work really well in recent years. An example of machine learning occurs when Netflix or YouTube suggests videos for you, or perhaps when you tag people on social media, or even use self-checkout systems in a grocery store. That is the image recognition case. In the recommender system, the computer watches what you like and learns from that to recommend other things it thinks you will enjoy. In the case of images, like photos, the machine learning can catch and match images against a large database and then respond appropriately. Getting a bit more complex, inside machine learning, there's a box called deep learning. Deep learning is loosely inspired by how our brains process information, using networks of neurons to recognize complex patterns. Just as layers of knowledge and experience help us to figure out how to respond in certain situations, so too deep learning means the AI has many layers of data, enabling AI to act and think in more complicated ways. But they're still far simpler than real brains. Deep learning needs even more computing power and resources than machine learning. It makes the computer systems more independent, meaning they can handle more things and make decisions on their own. An example of deep learning in action is a self-driving car. It has instructions, but as it drives, it's constantly taking in new information about everything around it and reacting to things that it didn't expect. Inside the deep learning box is the newest box, generative AI. You've probably heard this term, and perhaps the best-known generative AI tool is called ChatGPT. It was released a few years ago, and because it is so simple to use, it immediately became popular. Most generative AI today uses deep learning models. Generative AI also needs a lot of information and computing power. What makes it generative is that after it learns from all that information, it can make brand new stuff. It creates content, like the patterns and features it saw in huge databases that it studied. But now ChatGPT responds to the commands that a person gives it. Generative AI creates new content, like writing emails, generating images, or drafting documents. It can also assist with tasks, like summarizing reports or translating text into different languages. A city worker, for example, could use one of the many generative AI tools to create press releases to explain a new parking service downtown, or to create a picture of a trail route and some of its features. Finally, there is agentic AI. This kind of AI can plan things, make choices, and act all by itself to reach a goal. It often uses other computer tools to get the job done, and it might even use parts of generative AI inside of it. Well, a generative AI can produce a text when asked for, say, writing a blog post, and agentic AI can choose a topic, research it, generate the post, and schedule the post. Given current policy requirements and ethical recommendations that there always be a human in the loop, agentic AI is not something currently for use at the City of Austin. So this is a very brief introduction to some elements in the development of AI. We hope it provides a grounding for you as we move to the next segment to discuss some common AI tools.